Thank you. At this time, Mr. Chairman, I recognize the ranking member of the Subcommittee on International Monetary Policy, Mr. Miller from California, for 2 minutes.
The gentleman is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in opposition to this bill. This country is going through a period of great economic distress, and ultimately this bill will only serve to heighten uncertainty in the marketplace, restrict access to credit, and place more and more undue burdens on the backs of the American small businesses. This bill eliminates consumer options in housing markets. This bill includes language that alters ways consumers choose to pay their mortgage origination fees. Currently, consumers have the choice to pay origination fees up front, finance them through the rate, or some combination of the two. This bill eliminates the consumer's ability to partially pay up front and partially finance costs through the rate, ultimately leading to higher costs and fewer options available to home buyers. This bill favors the federal government over the private market. This bill places several new onerous restrictions on private community banks and explicitly exempts the federal government from these same restrictions. The effect of these new restrictions is that consumers will be steered towards the government when seeking finance options, encouraging a greater takeover of the economy by the federal government. This bill once again breaks our promise to the American people that excess TARP funds would go to pay down the debt and deficit. When this body enacted TARP in an effort to stave off a total collapse of the economy, we promised that any return the federal government made from the taxpayers' investment into the financial sector of this economy would go directly to paying down the deficit and the national debt, currently over $13 trillion. Instead, this bill breaks that promise by taking the remaining TARP funds and using them to pay for a federal takeover of the economy. What we should do instead, we need to get the federal government out of the way so that small businesses can begin to innovate and expand. We need to provide regulatory framework that allows community banks and small businesses the ability to make their own financial decisions. Mr. Speaker, we cannot continue to break our promise to the American people. The future of this great nation and that of its sons and daughters depends on the actions we take here today. And I only conclude that this legislation will prolong the recession and lead us further down the road of high deficits, greater debt, and I urge a no vote on this bill. I yield back the balance of my time.